The White House uses a so-called welcome gate on their site. It means you see this page when you go to their homepage for the first time. The idea is to get people to join their emailing list, which is a very common goal. And to be honest, the page is quite okay, but it could be better, and here are some ways they could increase their conversion. Before you can optimize any kind of a landing page, you need to know your audience. In this case, I would consider 3 groups. 1. Political journalists and other professionals who need to know what happens in the politics. 2. Interested citizens, from political activists to people who like to stay ahead of the news. 3. Ordinary citizens who aren't very engaged in politics. The last group is the largest and most important. The first 2 will subscribe anyway, but the last won't do it without some encouragement. Since the page has all the basic elements in place and done relatively well, I'll focus on improving the elements rather than switching them or adding more. Let's start with the headline. Stay informed doesn't really speak to the target audience. It implies they are informed, which they probably don't believe. Rather, they see politics as a complex power game that they don't understand or even try to follow. So when you say stay informed, you're not acknowledging their current feelings and beliefs. But if you say get informed, you're much closer to talking their language. But I'd test a headline that says get insider information, or get to the inner circle, or even become an insider. All these headlines would play off the feeling that there's an inner circle that makes the decisions about your life, but now you can get into that circle. The headline needs some explaining, and the text that follows is supposed to do that. The current text says, sign up to get periodic updates from President Obama and other administration officials. There's a lot wrong with this text. First of all, periodic updates is just a poor promise. It's not specific and it doesn't imply value. And other administration officials sounds even more random. I'd change the text to say something like, get the important news straight from the President Obama and the government insiders. I would even consider continuing, don't let the news change before you hear them, get them from the source. Next comes the email form and the submit button. The text on the button is weird. It sounds like you'd get more information about the email list if you click it. At least it doesn't imply clear value. You could change it to something as simple as join now, and it would work better, but something like become an insider would definitely convert better. The text block that comes after the email form is about their privacy policy. Having a privacy statement under the email form is usually a good idea, but this one is just over the top. I don't think that many people expect to get spam if they sign up for the president's email list, so a simple mention that says your email is confidential and you can unsubscribe anytime would be enough. And you could add a link to the privacy policies after the short text. The last thing about the page that I'd change is the picture. Basically there's nothing wrong with it, but when you consider the implied messages, it leaves a lot of room for improvement. Again, the target is the people who aren't very engaged in politics, and they often feel the government and the president are alienated from the general population. So, the picture should assure visitors that the president is a nice guy and you can trust him and the government. What the picture does instead is that it strengthens the idea that the president is this proud figure that has little or no connection to normal life. The president is looking up, which is a classic sign of proudness and even arrogance. He's not smiling, instead his face doesn't say much at all, and then I must wonder why he's wearing a microphone, and if the idea was to give a very prestigious image of him, then why isn't his tie done properly? And finally, why is he holding his own hand? It's a sign of insecurity and or arrogance. If they wanted a friendlier image, they should have him look at the camera, smile and have open hands. The background should be something that looks more comfortable. Maybe he could sit by his desk or even on a sofa in the Oval Office. So, what can you learn from this example? Make sure you're addressing the right audience. Understand the level of trust you have, and use images that convey the right message. If you want to increase your conversion, go through the landing page checklist that you'll find from the link below this video. And share your thoughts about the White House landing page or landing pages in general in the comments below.